Hello, so I'm kicking things off on this small RTX3070 with 3D Mark Night Raid. Got the 12900K again, and I'm going to try and beat some of the scores that I got with the Supreme MSI card with a little KFA2. Just because the CPU's faster, I reckon I'll be able to beat some of my scores that I got with my 5900X. So we'll see, I guess. Starting off with Night Raid, so straight out of the gate we've got first place, top score at the minute 78,000, obviously 12900K is overpowered, so we've got 82,000 with the GPU barely overclocked. It's not even a good CPU score on Night Raid for this CPU. I'm using MSI Afterburner to overclock the card, going to go to 150 next. And see if overclocking the card actually makes any difference or not, because I mean this is mostly a CPU benchmark. It was hitting 2070 MHz on that last run, so we got another couple of thousand points out of it there, so 400 points extra on the overall score, valid again. It hit 2115 MHz that time, so I've done a little bit of tweaking and I've managed to get it up to 83,000 overall and 162,000 on the graphics score. I think I can turn the CPU up a little bit more, maybe try that, because it's only scoring 22,000, it was scoring 25,000 before, so I'm going to try that next. But those are pretty much the max settings for the GPU. If it goes to 2160 it crashes, even if it's just for a little second or so. So I'm going to leave the GPU where it is. I've saved the profile in MSI Afterburner, and I'll see if we can get a little bit more out of it. But I don't think we're going to get much, it's just going to be from the CPU now. So I've messed around with the CPU overclock a little bit, and as you can see, got an extra 500 points out of it overall. That's not too bad. So we're now running, I think 5.5 or 5.6 on a few of the cores, 5.6 on 2, 5.5 on another 2, and then 5.3 on the rest of the P cores, that is, and that score's also valid, so that's good. So I've just run Unigine Heaven benchmark, the hardware bot version. On the B score I've got 11,845. I had to turn the GPU down a little bit from the settings that I was running on Night Raid, so I'm going to turn it back up again. So I was at 1300 on the memory before and plus 190 on the core. So I'm just going to work that back up to those settings and see what was making it crash. Because it kept crashing right in the middle of the benchmark for some reason, even though it wasn't getting anywhere near its max usage. So at that time I've got 11,901. There's only about 55 more points. I think I can still push the GPU just a little bit more though. So I couldn't get any more out of it on Heaven Basic, so I've just run Heaven Extreme. Got 9,697, almost 9,700, but I'm not running any LOD, so that's not amazingly competitive. I'll boost the clocks up a little bit more, see if I can get some more out of it. Might hit 9,750 I reckon, but I don't think I'll get much higher than that. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but it just broke 10,000, so not really going to complain. Right, I think that's all it's got in it. It keeps getting 10,000 and something, but only not even 10,100. I've got 10,080 twice now, so I'm just going to leave it at that. It's pretty much maxed out on the core and the memory as well, in terms of what it can do in Heaven on the DX11 one. So I have the CPU running 8.8 with those as the P core settings. So 5.4 on 2, 5.5 on 2, and 5.6 on 2, and 5.7 on 2. So I don't know what speed it actually runs at during the benchmark, but I've just got them all as fast as they can go pretty much, and you can see the spicy voltage, 1.5 volts just then. So yeah. So I'm just running Firestrike now. Got 38,200 on the graphics score, over 40,000 on the physics score, and just over 19,000 on the combined, giving us 35,600 overall. I would like to try and hit 36,000, but not sure whether I'll be able to do that or not. We're at 2160 on the core and 2050 on the memory, so I think that was a pretty good run. It's got a decent graphics score, not too bad on the physics score though, it could be a couple of 100 points higher, but the combined was decent that time, 19,700, so that was a pretty decent run. I think I'm going to bump up the core or the memory clock a bit more next. So I've just run Firestrike Extreme for the first time, nearly got 19,000 overall. I need to get 19,150 to get third place. Now that I've got LOD on, it is quite a bit easier. It's funny though, because this KFA2 card is actually getting the same graphics score with LOD as I got with the old MSI one without the LOD, so it just goes to show how much slower this little card is than the big MSI Supreme. But still, it's running 2175, so that's not too bad. Just the memory where it loses, because it only does like plus 1300 on this. So I've finally managed to get over 19,000 in Firestrike. It'd still be the same place on hardware bot, but I wanted to get over 19,000. So I did that by bumping the core clock up to 2190, also that it's boosting to 2190, and you can see that isn't valid, obviously it's got the LOD on, so but it's valid for hardware bots, that's all that matters. We got 19,300 on the graphics score, that's on Firestrike Extreme, not the normal one. So I'll probably run it a couple more times just to check, and then move on to Firestrike Ultra. Moved on to Firestrike Ultra now, and as you can see it's over 9,000, but it isn't quite 10,000, so it needs to be run a couple more times. Physics score was rubbish on that run. Got an extra 5 points, still a rubbish physics score though. So yeah, what can I do? Right, I think that's going to do it for this one. Shut it all off now. So didn't quite get 10,000 in Firestrike Ultra, 9,995, maybe I'll try again another day, but can't really be bothered now. So yeah, that's it for the 3070. We've got some decent scores on it, a few first places, quite a few seconds, thirds, whatever, so not too bad. At least we've got LOD working on the Nvidia cards now, so when I go to do the 3090 and the 3060 Ti, I'll be able to use LOD on them, so that's good. That's it for this one, goodbye.